The new album. Cotillions are really connected to one person. I want to talk about this one person. Many, many moons ago, in a different life, I met Rick Rubin, the famed producer, the bearded one, the sage of Malibu. I used to go up to Rick's house. I think he lived in some castle, like Bela Lugosi's castle or something. Very LA. You go into Rick's living room and you go, check this out. And he played Neil Young demos, or, you always have something that no one had ever heard. And at different times, Rick would weave in and out of my life. We were friends all those years. Rick produced a song on the door that I, in a peak of temper, decided to take off the Adore album because the record company decided that they were going to make that the first single, not because it was the best song, but because it sounded like all the other songs that we'd put out before. And then one day I got a call from Rick saying, hey, I'm working with Johnny Cash on this album. He's covering a bunch of songs. You got anything? I didn't really take it too seriously. I sent him one song. And here, 20 years later, I still regret that I didn't take that call more seriously.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
In around 2004, out of nowhere, Rick called me. He said, what are you doing, man? I said, I'm working on this acoustic record, this band I had. Disaster. I was writing the songs for what became Chicago Kid. And unreleased still. And Rick said, oh, it sounds really cool. Send them to me. I never send them the songs. You see a pattern here? There's my life in a nutshell. And so, a couple years back, in a very low point in my life, very down period in my life, wasn't really sure what I was doing. We released at least whatever iteration of the band, 7.0. Jeff and I released the Monuments album. Thank you. Thank you to all the 8 people who bought it. And I said privately, I'm done. Can't do this anymore. I'm losing my mind. We're in the timeline, okay? Slow down. The movie's not over, okay? It's like, don't jump! So Rick called me. He said, what are you doing, man? I said, well, I'm writing these songs, acoustic songs, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Explain the situation. He goes, oh, it sounds really cool. Send them to me. And this time I sent them to him. And this here was one of these songs, and I didn't hear from him for about a month. And I thought, whatever. He's the busiest guy in the world. About a month later, he calls me. What are you doing, man? I'm like, did you get the demos? Oh man, they're really good. They're really good. I want to do a record with you. And I was like, I looked at the phone like, did he just say he wants to do a record with me, doing acoustic songs? He said, keep writing, keep writing. And so I went out to a studio in Malibu, which thankfully survived the fires. Famous Shangri-La. And I remember a quick story. One of my favorite songs, and a song that was very influential on the Pumpkins, Cortez the Killer by Neil Young. I was in the studio, in this famous studio that the band worked in, Bob Dylan worked in. And I said to Rick, isn't this where Neil recorded Cortez the Killer? He goes, no, man. He recorded down the road. He goes, but he did write Cortez the Killer in that room. So that's the exact spot where I recorded these songs. And Neil was working on the property, so I'd see Neil. And yeah.
Say hi.
So what I'm trying to say in so many words is, it's amazing what a friend can do with a kind word. It can pull you up out of that murk.
We believe
So,
in you.
well, not always.
I do. I always have.
That doesn't sound like Rick's voice. So yeah, when I play these songs, Rick's in my heart. I can't thank him enough, and thank you.